you guys can clearly see, I am of Hispanic descent. I am not Arab. I am actually Dominican. I grew up Catholic my whole life, from birth up until maybe teenage years when I went ahead and did my own thing. But I did grow up Catholic. I did go to Catholic church every single day. I grew up in Dominican Republic, so me and my aunt would go every single day to mass at 6 p.m. in the town church that we had in the town. It was a very small town, so it was very close-knit. I knew everybody in the town, and that's how, you know, Caribbean countries are. You kind of know everyone. Long story short, I grew up Catholic. I did my first communion, my Baptist, all that Catholic stuff, and I didn't really have an issue with Catholicism until I grew up. And you know, you become aware and you're no longer regurgitating what other people are telling you. Now you kind of have your own brain and you can think for yourself, and you can kind of decipher what's right for you versus what's been passed down to you, right? There was a lot of holes in the story that didn't add up for me. And when it's crazy, in Christianity, you ask a pastor, sorry, I had like 3 words in my words there. If you ask a pastor or even anyone going to church, like any questions, like why did Cain and Abel, like where did Cain go? Where were all these people? Where did the Canaanites come from? Like, it wasn't even talked about in the Bible. Nobody can answer that. Nobody can give you direction. No one can give you an answer without getting angry, which is crazy, right? Because we all have a brain, right? We can ask questions, right? In Christianity, asking questions is not really, it's frowned upon, okay? They don't talk about it, they don't tell you not to do it, but when you do it, it's frowned upon. Here is where they lost me. Here's where they lost me. So on the road to learning about Mormons and stuff like that, you decide whether or not you want to get baptized, right? My girls were at the time 8 already. One was like 7.5 and the other one was 9. So we went ahead and planned for the baptism. And this is where they lost me. Okay, on the day of baptism, they go to me, okay, so you're gonna get baptized today, but tomorrow when you come to church on Sunday, we're gonna give you the Holy Ghost. First of all, Holy Ghost is always with me, because I have had many situations, like I said previously, in my life, where I would have not been here right now. Okay, I grew up in a very, very abusive upbringing, right? So I was sexually molested, I was verbally abused, and I was physically abused, okay? And I can recall in those moments when I was going through those things, right, when God has stepped in and saved me. Okay, so you're not gonna tell me that God was not with me my whole life, and now because I'm baptized, now God is with me? That's bullshit. It's bullshit. Excuse my French. But that's where they lost me, right? It just didn't make sense to me. And boom, shakalaka, I met my first Muslim, and I just had so many questions. I had like a freaking page of written questions. And I sat down with this person and I literally asked them all these questions. I felt like I was bombarding them, but I wasn't, right? They were very nice, they were very kind, and they took their time to answer my questions. They didn't get angry at me. In fact, they taught me a lot. So sitting down with this person, learning about Islam and learning about what it actually took to be a Muslim and what it required of me to worship God. I had all my questions answered. I started reading the Quran, and I've been just on this learning mission ever since. And honestly, guys, it was the best decision that I've ever done in my life. You guys don't understand. That void was filled instantly. And I went through so many religions, guys. I have a crazy life. Okay? Trying to find God, trying to find my space within Him and our closeness together. It's been a long journey, but I'm very, very grateful that everything led me here, right? Because before learning about it, I had a completely different idea of what it took to be a Muslim, right? All this crazy stuff in the news, all the stuff that's happening in the world, right? No one portrays Muslims or Islam in a positive light unless you're physically going out there and looking for the information. So the image that I had in my mind of what it took to be a Muslim, or what it took to worship God, or all of these things, it was a completely different image that I had in my mind, and it was completely not at all what I expected it to be. So if you guys are interested, definitely look into it, but make sure that you do it for yourself. Make sure that you're reading and finding the knowledge and seeking the truth on your own for yourself, and not because someone told you to do. So that is my Revert story, guys. I hope you guys learned some, enjoyed some, and then some.